legal
things.
stuff. Yeah.
And so I thought of the 3 or 4 different legal run-ins that I'd had over the years that were kind of interesting stories.
Well, you're welcome to tell them, but I don't like to get in people's business unless they want to.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Well, anyway, no. I think maybe the first incident that I had involving a lawyer was, and this guy goes.
Sounds like it's going to be a negative experience.
No, it was a great experience.
Good.
It was a little. I met him. I guess he was my car insurance, the lawyer that they hired to represent me. I had a car accident. I had just dropped Jerry Jarrett off at the Memphis airport.
In that Falcon?
No. I'd moved on up to a better car, and so it was pouring down rain, and so I took a different route home, and I'm coming across. I think it was Winchester, and just like I said, pouring down rain, and I had a green light. And I'm not even really much paying attention because of the green light, and I'm just going. I'm really looking more or less about the, the weather conditions, and I'm driving along, normal speed, and all of a sudden, this pickup truck, starts making a right-hand turn or left-hand turn right in front of me, and as I said, I slammed on the brakes. It was pouring down, and my car didn't even slow down. Man, I skidded right into this guy. Bam! Man, I hit him hard. And so, I still remember because it was so wet and there was no traction. When I hit the side of his truck, it spun. This whole truck started spinning around like that, and my car went over. And so, it's, like I said, pouring down rain. I could still open my door, and so I get out. And I look over and I see this truck just sitting there, side all crumpled up. And so I go to look inside and to see if he's okay, right? And I look inside the truck and there's nobody in there. Nobody in the truck at all. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And then I look on the other side and there's no door on the truck.
Oh, no.
Right? So, and pouring rain, and I look around on the other side, and here's this poor old man. The door to his truck is like, I guess it knocked him off and knocked into the door and knocked the door off.
Huh.
And all of a sudden he's sitting in the middle of the road on his door, and he's kind of sitting up, right? And I go around and I said, "You're all right. You're okay. Come on, get up." And he goes, oh, my back. I said, "Oh, you're okay. Come on, get up." He said, "Oh, no, my back. Anyway, the man's name was Roland Sockenbacher, right? So Roland Sockenbacher claimed that he had the green light, and that he was, that
he's in the right of way.
That he had the right of way, and that I came speeding through, and I was going so fast he didn't even see me coming. He says, so he sues me big time, right? And he wanted more than my insurance. There's a cap of my insurance, so he wanted to go and have a jury trial. And now Roland Sockenbacher was 72 years old, and his wife sued me as well for loss of consortium or whatever it is. In other words, I guess they weren't able to do anything after this car accident, and he's a 72. So
what year was this? This was pre blue pill, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely,
okay.
yeah. So anyway, I'll never forget. My insurance company offered him the max, and they wouldn't settle. So then I got to go to court. And so I go downtown to meet my lawyer, and he was the coolest little guy. He was a short guy. His name was Ralph Holt. And this was in the 70s. But Ralph Holt, he comes in, I go in his office, nice fancy office, looking over the Mississippi River. And we go over what happened on the case and everything. And he said, "Well, all right, looks time to go over there." So he goes, he takes his watch off, which was a nice gold Rolex. Takes that off, takes off this big diamond ring and sets it down on his counter. And he picks up a turquoise ring and puts it on, and picks up an old little Timex watch and puts it on.
Is he going in front of a jury?
Going in front of a jury, right?
Yeah.
And
smart.
That was my first. My first awakening to what was going on here, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then my second awakening was, how things worked in the courtroom. That's, like I said, my first experience, right? And here's poor Mr. Roland Sockenbacher, still in a wheelchair, by the way. It's been months, right? So they wheel him in a wheelchair. And so his lawyer has the big board up front with the 2 streets on it, and then the car and the truck. And he said, "Now, Mr. Sockenbacher, I realize this is going to be hard on you. You suffered a broken back and that sort of thing. But we really need your help here. I need you to come up here and show us just exactly how you were and where he was and that sort of thing." So naturally, here comes the act. Oh, man. Oh. So he gets up, right? And he goes up there, just staggers up there and just shows where the cars were. And then he comes back and he sits down again. So his lawyer talks for about 20 minutes, and then he says, "Man, Mr. Sockenbacher, I hate to do this, but I just need one more time. If you could refresh my memory." Oh, man. Here he goes up, and I'm sitting over there going, "Oh, my gosh." And the jury's looking at this poor guy like, "Oh, poor guy," right? And so anyway, he sits back down in his chair, and then my little Ralph Holt goes to work. And he didn't really say that much. He got to cross-examine Mr. Sockenbacher, who said, "Mr. Lawler must have been coming so fast that I didn't even see him. I just turned, the light was green. I just turned, and all of a sudden he hit me." So, "Okay, thank you, sir." Boom. So then his lawyer gets up and says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," and you have to listen closely to this. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," he was a young guy. He said, "My parents sent me to the finest law school available in my state. And they taught me everything. I mean, just everything that you could think of about the law at this school." He said, "But the one thing that they couldn't teach me is what is a pain-free day worth." And Mr. Sockenbacher will never experience a pain-free day for the rest of his life. So we're asking for blah, 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 that kind of thing, right? So then my little bulldog, Ralph Holt, gets up, a little bitty guy, right? And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I didn't have parents that could send me to the finest law school in the state." He said, "I had to work my way through school." And he said, I don't know if they taught me everything that they could, but they did teach me one thing, that if you fail to see that which is there, then you are guilty of contributory negligence." And Mr. Lawler was obviously there. Mr. Sockenbacher said he didn't see him. But since they collided, Mr. Lawler was obviously there. So all we can say is that if you fail to see that which is there, that's contributory negligence. They went out. The people were gone for about 15 minutes, and they came back in. And Mr. Sockenbacher, who had been offered $100,000, wound up getting zero.
Man, that's good.
Yeah,
I have to look up that.
Yeah.
We do PI cases like that, and you're right. Those narratives are the exact same thing. And lawyers are really performers too.
Oh, of course.
Like we have to go and sell that argument to the jury. That's interesting. That was your experience. I'll have to look that guy up. I don't know.
Ralph Holt.
Was he older fella then?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still around.
No, he's definitely gone.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was in the 70s. But that was
well, good. Well, I want to be like him then. I don't want to be like the other guys.